Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today it is time for updated Oscar predictions for the month of September. This time for the acting categories and SAG Ensemble. A lot has changed. A lot has changed, especially since my last Oscar predictions video. Before I move on, I do want to let you guys know that we have memberships open for $2 a month. You get badges, emojis, members-only videos, which I've been doing a lot of those this fall festival season. Members-only shout-outs at the end of my videos, early access to Oscar predictions videos, members-only live chats, which I'm doing one later today, so if you're not a member already, consider becoming a member. And you also get access to my members-only Discord server. So consider becoming a member. It really means a lot. Without any further ado, let's move on to the predictions, shall we? Yeah, definite new winner. Since last time. Jessie Buckley is so winning for Hamnet. I mean, Hamnet's already a top 3 contender, and it just won TIFF, so I don't really see a world at this point where Jessie Buckley doesn't win. I mean, she's already a previous Oscar nominee, so she's, because, unlike Renate Reinsva, that was kind of the one thing going against her when it came to winning lead actress, and that was, she hadn't really won. Or no, not one. She had never really been nominated before. So that's where things got really complicated, I guess. But Jessie Buckley, she has a previous nominee, and she's in a top 3 film. I don't really see a reason to doubt her winning, especially since a lot of people are saying she's going to win. So I think this is probably the first acting category where we could say this is locked in. Or at least in terms of who wins. Renate Reinsva, Sentimental Value is already a top 5 film, so she's going to get in. And honestly, these are the only 2 that I feel remotely confident in. Because everyone else is not in a Best Picture film. There are, it's really, really hard to figure out what's going to happen with any of these other performances. So let's start. Number 3, I have Emma Stone for Begonia. I don't think Begonia is going to get into Best Picture. It didn't, it's not received badly, but it's not received as well as, Yorgos Lanthimos' other films, mainly the ones with, where he has Tony McNamara writing the screenplay. So, yeah, again, she's not really locked in, and that's the problem. If you're not in the Best Picture nominee, you are vulnerable. You are vulnerable to get snubbed. So, from here on out, it's just chaos, and we don't really know what's happening. Laura Dern for Is This Thing On? I feel like this is, I've always felt like this could be, Best Picture adjacent in a way. I don't know how it's going to squeeze into Best Picture at this point with so much competition, but, I mean, again, if it's Best Picture adjacent, then Laura Dern could get in, perhaps. And the one I feel very shaky about is Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Anne Lee. Again, the reviews are good, but really, she's the only film's prospect. It's this is absolutely not a Best Picture film whatsoever. But again, I feel like this just has more going for it than a lot of the other films. Maybe this is Spencer. Maybe? Again, I just don't know. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. I know a lot of people will say that this is she's the safe pick here. But again, I'm just not sure. Because I don't know how well Wicked for Good. And also, I just realized I should have had that be Wicked for Good, not just Wicked. But, I don't know how, I don't know how well received this film is going to be, because again, people say that the second act of Wicked is nowhere near as good as the first half, and so I'm wondering if they're if it's just going to be considered a disappointment. And the fact that if it's a sequel and it's a disappointment, she's definitely not going to get in, because we saw what happened with Dune Part 2, and that was a film that was considered better than the first film. So I feel like she could be in trouble there. Then we get Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Again, because of the lack of competition, she's up like this high. But again, I just don't know how like existing of a film this really is to the Academy. So I don't know. Emma Mackey for Ella McKay. I mean, we'll have to see how the film turns out when it comes to, you know, when it's released. But the trailers didn't really do people any favors. And so, again, I just don't know. Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue. This is the first time I've ever mentioned this film. And look, I saw the trailer. It doesn't look great. It's about a cover band. A cover band. Not even like the real artist. It's like, who cares about these people? Why are they making a movie about it? And so I just don't really know if this is going to be like a successful awards film. Again, because of the lack of competition, I might as well have Kate Hudson up this high. But I don't know. Eva Victor for Sorry Baby. Similar situation to If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I just don't know how much this film even exists to the Academy. So we'll have to see. Sydney Sweeney for Christie. The movie got bad reviews. I would be kind of shocked if she got a nomination at this point. And it's not like Blonde, where like Blonde was like terrible, or maybe like borderline terrible. But like, I feel like if that film was like remotely like better received, like Ana de Armas probably could have won lead actress for that performance. Like, she was that good. So, but I don't really think Christie is going to be like that. It just looks like a generic sports film. Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. It's not Academy friendly at all, from what I've heard. So, and it might not even come out this year. So, yeah. Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. Similar situation to Sydney Sweeney in that After the Hunt is just not well received. Like this actively got bad reviews. So Julia Roberts is like the only thing the film is like clinging to, but without any like good reviews. I feel like even I think this is it's the kind of reviews that's even going to hurt Julia Roberts' chances. So yeah. And then Kate Blanchett for Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. I mean, granted, this won the Golden Lion, but I don't know. Again, the Room Next Door won the Golden Lion. That didn't really do anything. And not only that, but I don't know. At least from what the trailer looks like, it looks like it's going to be more like an anthology film. So Kate Blanchett might not even really be a lead. And then Angelina Jolie for Couture. Again, bad reviews. I feel, again, like, God, see what I'm talking about? There's no competition here. There's just no competition whatsoever. So, like, honestly, if a new contender arose from all this, and that's not even, if someone came up that wasn't even on this list, I'd be shocked, because I don't know who else could happen at this point. But yeah, lead actor. This is where things have definitely changed. Because, look, I'm not gonna lie, Leo might look pretty good for One Battle After Another. Because here's the thing, I have switched to One Battle After Another winning Best Picture. I have. It's making a lot of good cases, and now granted, there is the box office question of it all. And it's like, will the audience go out for it? Will the audience go out for this film? That remains to be seen. I hope I'm not wrong about that, but, you know, assuming it is, if this film does have the strong box office, it's winning Best Picture. And there are maybe, I think you can make an argument for some actors winning an Oscar for this, mainly even if it's just like a coattail kind of win. And I don't know, maybe Leo could win, maybe. I mean, because I've always had like reservations about everyone else. Even Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. It's like, is that a film that's going to win any Oscars? I just don't know. I've always had my doubts. Like, I'm already doubting the film could get into director because there's so much competition. And it could get into original screenplay, but like, I don't know. Like again, there's a lot of competition in original screenplay. Editing could probably go to either House of Dynamite or more likely One Battle After Another. So there's a lot like going against Marty Supreme, and maybe it just goes home Oscarless. And like, so yeah, I don't know. So it'd be kind of weird if like Timothée Chalamet was the film's only win. And I don't know. I just, again, I don't know. We'll have to see. Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. He's going to be in. As long as the film is in Best Picture, he's going to be squarely in. I mean, the reviews from, what was it? Telluride came in, and it's like, they're good enough. The reviews are good enough for the film to get into Best Picture, and he'll come along with it. And also, I actually have Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice. I've started really thinking No Other Choice could get into Best Picture. And also director. And I've also kind of, if you saw my previous video where I talked about, the TIFF winners, I do think No Other Choice, Park Chan-wook, has a good shot at even making DGA, considering how well known he is in America. So I don't know. We may be underestimating No Other Choice a bit. And I can see a world where Lee Byung-hun gets in. I mean, granted, international performances usually don't happen. But, however, if I'm not, he was in Squid Game, so he's pretty well known out there. So, yeah, I think he could probably actually get in. He probably could. Then we get to number 5, and this is where things get a little bit messy, because there's a lot of people who could take that 5th slot. Brendan Fraser's not happening, because Rental Family did not even place at TIFF. Hell, like, TIFF literally split up international and regular people's choice, and I do think No Other Choice would have placed if there weren't an international category. Like, it would have made the regular TIFF top 3 if there wasn't the international category. But since it was split up and Rental Family still couldn't do it, Brendan Fraser's not happening. He's done. That was a fatal blow. Rental Family is Saturday night. It's Saturday night at this point. Everyone's going to forget about it by the time award season comes around. But yeah, and so I'm going to go with Daniel Day-Lewis for Anemone, because I feel like, again, he's Daniel Day-Lewis. He's coming out of retirement for this film. He's the record holder for the most lead actor wins. I feel like people are going to want to nominate him, so yeah. And I have taken Michael B. Jordan out. Now, why have I done that? Well, if Sinners is not winning Best Picture, it can fall out of a few categories. It can fall out of a few categories. And I feel like Michael B. Jordan would only get nominated for Sinners if Sinners was winning Best Picture. But now that I'm kind of switching to One Battle After Another, it might not be pretty for Michael B. Jordan on that day. Then we get at number 7, Dwayne Johnson for The Smashing Machine. I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, what? You don't have him in? But if you're not in Best Picture, you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable if you're not in the Best Picture film. And some people could probably say, well, you have Daniel Day-Lewis and you don't have Anemone in Best Picture. Yes, because he's Daniel Day-Lewis, not Dwayne Johnson. Like, Dwayne Johnson hasn't won 3 Best Actor Oscars. So, I feel like there's a bit of a difference between these two. Like, Dwayne Johnson, I feel like, is going to get, like, a couple of precursors. Like, I think he's going to get the Golden Globe nomination. I think he's going to get the SAG nomination. Critics' Choice, probably. But do I think he's going to get nominated for the Oscar? No. Will Arnett for Is This Thing On? Again, Best Picture adjacent film? Maybe, but I feel like lead actor is like so packed right now. Like, even if Is This Thing On were in Best Picture, I don't think he would get in. I've already talked about why Brendan Fraser's dead. Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Again, who knows what could happen? Could he get into Best Actor without the film in Best Picture? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. Jesse Plemons for Begonia. Begonia isn't really touching Best Picture, so he's not going to get in. George Clooney for Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly's not going to be in Best Picture, so he's out. Colin Farrell for Ballad of a Small Player. Again, the film wasn't really the most well received, so he's out. What was it? Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams. Too much competition. Daniel Craig for Wake Up Dead Man. I don't know. Hugh Jackman for Song Sung Blue. I mean, just in case the film is like a big crowd pleaser, maybe, but I don't know. And then Ice Cube for War of the Worlds. You know, obviously that's going to happen. Moving on, we have supporting actress. All right. And this is where things get interesting. Apparently, over at TIFF, people responded more strongly to Inga Ibsdottir, Lilius for Sentimental Value, instead of Elle Fanning. But again, I don't really know who's winning supporting actress. This is the one I feel very not confident about because it's literally literally anyone here could happen, honestly. So I have Inga Ibsdottir, Elle Fanning. They're pretty easy locks. I've heard okay. The strange thing about One Battle After Another and supporting actress is that, like, when the test screenings were coming out for One Battle After Another, no one really highlighted any of the supporting actresses, and they were saying like, "Oh, Tiana Taylor isn't in the movie that much," but now that they're like, you know, with the critic reactions, people are shouting out Tiana Taylor. People are shouting out Chase Infinity. It's like, where was this like months ago? Like, where was all this praise months ago? So like I guess the test screenings really led us astray on that one. And so I do think there is a chance both could get nominated. Again, considering I'm not really like, I'm just not really confident in a lot of the other contenders, but we'll have to see. So yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme, maybe. I mean, you know, the film, as long as she has enough, you know, screen time in, or at least does enough, or makes enough of an impact, she could get in. But again, this is the one I don't really know anything about this performance. Then we get to Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners and Haley Steinfeld for Sinners. This really depends on, again, who's stronger at the Oscar nominations? One Battle After Another or Sinners? Now, granted, I could see a world where, like, maybe, like, so I don't know. This is tough. I don't know. Maybe one of them could get nominated, or maybe, like, we get one Battle After Another actress and one Sinners actress, maybe. But, like, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on here, so take this with a grain of salt. Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine. I know a lot of people are going to be throwing in Emily Blunt in their predictions, but I don't think she happens if Dwayne Johnson doesn't happen. That's the problem. I don't think you could just nominate Emily Blunt without Dwayne Johnson. So I think she's going to get a couple of precursors. Probably SAG, maybe Golden Globe, but again, I don't know. And I don't know, maybe BAFTA because she's British, but I don't know. Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good. Again, this all depends on how well received Wicked for Good is. If Wicked for Good does get the amount of praise that the first film got, I'll throw in, you know, Cynthia Erivo. I'll throw in Ariana Grande, but I want to be a little bit careful. I want to be a little bit careful because of how the film, or because of how the second act of the stage show was received. Then, you know, at number 10, I have Laura Dern for Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly is not touching Best Picture, so I feel like she might be dead. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, once it premieres at New York Film Festival, or not premieres, but once it plays at New York Film Festival, it's gonna get so much better reviews. No, it already played in North America at Telluride, and the reviews got better, but they didn't skyrocket like a lot of people claimed. So I just think Jay Kelly's a non-starter. I just think it's a non-starter. It's not going to get any nominations. Fran Drescher for Marty Supreme. Again, I just don't know who's stronger in the film. I don't really know anything. I don't really know anything about the cast of Marty Supreme. So We'll have to see. Odessa Young for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Actually, I just realized, like, there's Odessa Young and Odessa Zion for Marty Supreme. I remember someone being named Odessa that from one of these movies that people were saying, oh yeah, she could be a standout. But I don't know whether it was Springsteen or Marty Supreme, which is weird because there's two people named Odessa, and I've not really seen like any actors named Odessa before. So it's like, what? I don't know. Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. Again, a lot of people are going to try to say, well, Glenn Close could get in this time, you know, for it, but it's like, no, the Knives Out movies only get nominated for screenplay, and even the way it premiered at TIFF, it looked like it was just going to be about as well received as the other two Knives Out movies, maybe slightly less, but even then, you know, it's just looking at screenplay and nothing else. So yeah. Jennifer Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman. This is maybe the only prospect, aside from costumes and maybe production design, maybe cinematography, but I don't know. It's not looking great. It didn't even premiere at the fall film festivals, so... Regina Hall for One Battle After Another. I've not heard anybody talk about her, which is interesting. So she might not be happening. Tilda Swinton for Ballad of a Small Player. Again, the movie came out in TIFF. No one cared. Jamie Lee Curtis for Ella McKay. Maybe SAG, but I don't know. Mari Yamamoto for Rental Family. Again, the movie's dead, so rest in peace. Yeah. Then we get to supporting actor, and honestly, I could see maybe things shaping up the way I think they're going to shape up. People are, like, without Adam Sandler in competition, because I really don't think Adam Sandler is going to get nominated for a movie that he's not in Best Picture for. I think this is the perfect time for Stellan Skarsgård to come in and, you know, take over frontrunner status. So I think he's in. But maybe Paul Mescal. Like, people are saying Paul Mescal could threaten for the win as well. So, hey, we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. But I think Stellan Skarsgård might have, like, the career narrative advantage over Paul Mescal. So there's that. Jeremy Strong for Deliver Me From Nowhere. He does seem to be, like, the standout in the trailer. Some people were wondering if it could be like Stephen Graham, but Stephen Graham was... And even then, people, when the reviews started coming out for Deliver Me From Nowhere, people were specifically shouting out Jeremy Strong, so he's the supporting actor player. A lot of people are now saying Sean Penn's going to get in for One Battle After Another, so hey, let's keep an eye out for him. I'm surprised not as many people are saying Benicio del Toro, because Benicio del Toro looked like the standout from the trailers, so I don't know. And then we have Miles Caton for Sinners, and I still think he can get in. I still think he's stronger than Delroy Lindo. I know a lot of people are going to go, what? You're insane. But guys, come on. It's like, I still do not understand why anyone would think Delroy Lindo is above Miles Caton. He's not in the movie as much, does not have as many, like, Beatty scenes. I just, like, the only thing people are kind of going off of is that the career narrative, but career narrative, we've only, like, really started paying attention to him since 2020. What? I don't buy Delroy. I just do not buy him. Miles Caton just makes way more sense for a supporting actor nomination. Now, granted, Sinners may or may not be winning Best Picture, so he could be on the cutting room floor. But it would be weird for Sinners to not get any acting nominations. That would be weird. But yeah, I already talked about Benicio del Toro. Bradley Cooper for Is This Thing On? We'll have to see. But competition is kind of strengthening up, so I don't know. Sean Bean for Anemone. Again, same thing here. It's like, I feel like the competition is growing substantially, so I don't know if he can squeeze in. I mean, maybe we'll have to see. Adam Sandler for Jake Kelly. I already explained why I don't think he's in, because I don't think he's going to get nominated for a movie he's not nominated for Best Picture in, or like the film isn't nominated for Best Picture. Jack O'Connell for Sinners, probably not. Jonathan Bailey for Wicked, again, I would need to see how strong this film is overall. So, I don't know. And Akira Emoto, if the film's not in Best Picture, he's not coming along with it, so rip. And then finally, we get to SAG Ensemble. And this is where things get really interesting. Now, I want to go 4 out of 5 with SAG, because usually SAG Ensemble does not go 5 for 5 with Best Picture nominees. They did last year, but that was the outlier. So, I don't know. I want to hedge my bets on something not getting into Best Picture, but I don't know what that film could be right now. And it would need to be a film that's like maybe in the Best Picture conversation, but I don't have it in, which could be Wicked for Good or Jay Kelly. But at least but the thing is with Wicked for Good, I don't know how received it's going to be. Like, let's say if it gets like, you know, decent review, but then again, I don't know, because like, even if it were to get like just decent reviews, I don't know if it could just be like Babylon, because Babylon got nominated at the Globes, but that was before the new Globes came in, and so, and you know, they didn't nominate The Color Purple, and ultimately The Color Purple, although granted The Color Purple did get a SAG Ensemble nomination, and that didn't get into Best Picture, so maybe, I don't know. But right now, I have One Battle After Another. Honestly, between Sinners and One Battle After Another, it really depends on who's winning Best Picture. If Sinners is winning Best Picture, it's going to win SAG Ensemble. If One Battle After Another is winning Best Picture, it's going to win SAG Ensemble. Sentimental Value, I think, can make SAG Ensemble despite being an international film, because I do feel like it's going to be like considering it's a multiple above-the-line contender, I feel like SAG Ensemble is pretty decent for it. Marty Supreme, it's got a big cast in it, so probably. And again, I don't want to go 5 for 5 with Best Picture nominees, so it's probably not going to happen. But the only other ensemble film I think also makes a lot of sense would be House of Dynamite. Like, House of Dynamite has a lot of stars in it, and I feel like but then again, I don't know, is it really going to be an above-the-line contender in that way? Maybe not. I don't know. It's between that or Wicked for Good. Maybe Wicked for Good for the 5th SAG Ensemble slot, but again, I want to see how strong the reviews are. Jay Kelly, I could do Jay Kelly, but the problem is that Marriage Story did not get nominated for SAG Ensemble. It did not get a SAG Ensemble nomination. So, and I feel like you could sort of tell, like, when directors are, like, SAG-friendly or not, because Yorgo Lanthimos has not had any, you know, SAG Ensemble films, whereas, you know, Martin McDonagh has. And so I feel like with Jay Kelly, the Noah Baumbach curse might continue. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, maybe this could happen in SAG Ensemble. But again, we will have to see. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, granted, you know, what was a Complete Unknown did, but at the same time, A Complete Unknown got 3 acting nominations and plus SAG Ensemble, you know? So, I don't know. Is this thing on? Maybe this could get SAG Ensemble. Maybe. But again, I need to see how much of this film exists. Like, it's really hard to figure all that out. The Smashing Machine, I don't know if it has a particularly strong ensemble from what I've heard. It really just seems like it's like the Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt show. So I don't know. Ella McKay, maybe. But again, like, I don't know. If it gets trash reviews, it might not happen. But then again, I don't know. Hamnet, I know a lot of people are going to go, what? Hamnet? But the people are shouting out some members of the supporting cast. I feel like Hamnet is the film that does kind of sound destined to not get nominated for SAG Ensemble. Like people are going to go, what? That missed? And people are going to think, oh, well, it's probably not winning Best Picture right now. So, I don't know. Frankenstein, I don't know. I don't think it's in Best Picture, which, again, that doesn't necessarily preclude it from getting that 5th slot. But I don't think Guillermo del Toro movies really get nominated for SAG Ensemble. I mean, like, what was it? Nightmare Alley didn't get nominated for SAG Ensemble. The Shape of Water didn't get nominated for SAG Ensemble. So I don't think Frankenstein's going to. Wake Up Dead Man, this makes absolute sense to get nominated for SAG. but the other two Knives Out movies miraculously didn't, which is weird. So I don't know. Rental Family, I don't think it, again, it's Saturday night. It's not going to get nominated for SAG Ensemble, even though it makes sense. And then No Other Choice, it doesn't sound like there's a strong, ensemble. So I don't know. But yeah, guys, those are my acting Oscar predictions and SAG Ensemble. Tune in next week because I'm going to be talking about the below the line categories, and once again, things have changed quite a bit. And now I'm going to pass the question off to you. What are your acting Oscar predictions for September? Let me know in the comments below what you think, and be sure you hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, you're going to get snubbed out of SAG Ensemble.